Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next question of our agriculture optional answer writing practice series. So as you all know that we are having agriculture optional answer writing practice series in which we practice one question daily. And the question for today is explain the term irrigation scheduling and elaborate the criteria of IW CPE ratio of irrigation scheduling along with its merits and demerits. So this question was asked in irrigation scheduling. So this question was asked in this year's optional paper of UPSC CSE, that is agriculture optional paper of 2024 of UPSC CSE. So we will see how we can approach this answer and how can we structure this answer and how to write a proper answer of this question. So let's start. So first of all, the question is asking explain the term irrigation scheduling. So what irrigation scheduling is? So simply irrigation scheduling, the most common definition would be when to apply water and how much water to be applied to plants. When and how much water is to be applied to plants, is to be applied to plants. So this is the most basic definition of irrigation scheduling, which we can tell that suppose we have a plant here. So we cannot give it frequent irrigations, or you cannot irrigate it anytime when we need or anytime when we require. Instead of need, I must say when you require. Instead of, we should use irrigation in the times when the plant needs it the most. Instead of our requirement, suppose we have water this time, we have irrigated. No, that is not the good process. We have to irrigate when the plant requires the water. Okay, and when we have to apply the water and how much the water should be applied, that is what irrigation scheduling is. Suppose the plant in its reproductive phase or in its flowering phase and we need to apply water because it is a phase for plant. So what amount of water it requires, how much water is present in soil, what is the climate, what is the evaporation rate. Suppose if the evaporation rate will be high, we have to we have to irrigate more water. If the evaporation rate will be low, we have to give less water. So that is how irrigation scheduling is done, and this is what simply irrigation scheduling is. Now one thing you should know, that it is based on three types. Okay, its criteria, the irrigation scheduling criteria is of three types. First type is soil water regime. Soil water regime. So here we focus on soil factors. Okay, what is the water amount present in the soil, what is soil moisture tension, what is, or you can say, depletion of available soil moisture. Is the available soil moisture more depleted, or the available content of available soil moisture is good? What is the feel and appearance of soil? Everything is seen in this approach. Second approach is plant indices. Here we have to look for the characters in plant. Is the plant showing any visual symptoms of lack of water? What is the canopy temperature? What are the critical growth stages, such as I have discussed right now, that for flowering or vegetative phase, or every crop has certain phases where the irrigation is must. So that is what we need to see in plant indices. Next we have climatological approach. And here is what we see the climates. What is the evaporation rate, what is the surrounding, what is the humidity? So everything is seen in the climatological approach. And this the question, you see the question, I have elaborated the criteria of IWCPE. This IWCPE is kept in climatological approach only because it measures the cumulative percentage of irrigation, or you can say cumulative pan evaporation. Okay, CP, that is cumulative pan evaporation, it measures. And IW here is irrigation water. So that is what is IWCPE is, and we keep into it in climatological approach. So I hope you understand what irrigation scheduling is. We understood the types of irrigation scheduling which you could write in your answer. Now let's move to the second part of the question, that is criteria of we have to explain the criteria of IWCPE ratio. So let's see how we can understand it. So first of all, we should know what is the full form of IW CPE ratio is. So its full form is irrigation water by irrigation water by cumulative pan evaporation. CUMU, this is U. Cumulative pan evaporation. So this is what IW by CPE is. So what, as the from the full form only you can get to know that it helps to determine the appropriate amount of water to be applied based on evaporation from a standard evaporation pan. So first of all, we will take a evaporation pan, okay, and we will see how much of amount of water is evaporated from the pan. This is how it is measured, and according to the percentage of evaporation, how much water is evaporated, we will apply the water. Suppose if the evaporation rate is less, okay, then we will apply less water in irrigation schedulings. If the evaporation rate is very high, so we will have to apply more water. So it is kindly of dependent on the evaporation. And evaporation is all, we all know that it depends on the climate of the region, either the percentage of humidity, the percentage of arid climate, the heat, sunlight, everything. Evaporation is dependent on all these things, temperature of the region. So this is how IWE CPE ratio works. So I hope you understand what it is. So what's its purpose is, its purpose is to manage irrigation water efficiency, or to manage water efficiency by looking into the evaporation percentages. Okay, so I hope you understand it. So this is what IWE CPE ratio is. Okay, irrigation water by cumulative pan evaporation. Dependent on the amount of evaporation, we have to schedule the irrigation. So I hope you understand, and you can simply explain this in a para 5-6 lines, that will be enough. Now let's move to the next part of the question. It is also asking about its merits and demerits. So we will see the merits and demerits of IW by CPE ratio. First of all, we will see, look at the merits. Merits. So the first and foremost most important merit is water efficiency. Okay, water efficiency. So it will obviously increase water efficiency. Any kind of irrigation scheduling will increase water efficiency. Okay, so it helps us to manage the water efficiently by ensuring that crops receive the right amount of water based on evaporation rates, so that crops are getting right amount of water based on evaporation rates. If the evaporation rate will be high, we will put lot of water in irrigation. If the evaporation rate will be low, we will put low water in irrigation. So that is what we have to keep in mind. It has cost effectiveness, because it optimizes the water use. And if the water used will be optimized, obviously the extra cost which the farmer has to incur into irrigation, that will be reduced. For example, farmers use pumps. So these pumps have certain amount of energy requirement. If the farmer do not have a pump, he or she rents the pump from another owner of the pump. So as per the time, when if the irrigation rates will be lower, we have to give the a certain amount of irrigation, a specific amount of irrigation. So there will be less energy consumption, and obviously that will be cost effectiveness for farmers. Obviously it will lead to improved crop yield. If the crop will get a proper amount of water, because all know, suppose this is a crop, high amounts of water is also bad for it, low amounts of water is also bad for it. So if it gets a proper amount of water, obviously the crop yield will increase. Adaptability is another merit, because it could be adjusted around as per the climate conditions. Every other feature is just done because we will see the soil conditions, we will irrigate it. We will know that the plant is in vegetative phase, we will irrigate it, or in reproductive phase, in any phase depending on the crop plants, we will irrigate it. But here we have adaptability as per climate, because the climate is one thing that is not same Sometimes the climate will be more humid, evaporation rates will be low. Sometimes the climate will be in higher temperature ranges, the evaporation rates will be high. So we can adapt here as per the climate, and that is why it is one of the most efficient techniques. And obviously it will promote sustainability. There will be less wastage of water and other things. So sustainability will be promoted as it will help to conserve the water. So these are some of the merits of IWE-CPE ratio. Now let's move to the demerits. What are the demerits? So first demerit is that it is dependent on local conditions. Dependent on local conditions. Because there is huge variation in local conditions, the farmer will have a problem in adjusting to the conditions. Suppose the farmer has two fields, and this field is is a bit different from this field as they are far away from, or you can say 2 kilometers away. So the conditions here could be different, the conditions here could be different. So it helps, it is highly dependent on local conditions, and that is why farmers had to keep changing their needs, and that is highly bulky for the farmers. The problem is soil variability is also there, because different soils have different water retention capacity. Suppose in here we are measuring the evaporation in a pan, so that could not be the case in the field, okay, because there could be different soils, the evaporation rates of different soils will be different. So soil variability is another problem which could be added. It requires frequent monitoring, okay. Intensive monitoring is required here, so that is a bulky process for farmers, okay. Here is limited crop consideration. Limited crop consideration, because here we are focusing so much on evaporation only, that the some kind of crops which could be sensitive to another things is neglected, okay. So crop factors are neglected and evaporation factors are kept in mind. So here the crop considerations are kept it at lower ends, and and it could act as a demerit also here, okay. It there could be potential for misuse, as if the farmer can misinterpret the evaporation ratios, because especially in India the farmers are not much that of educated. So here you can say the problem of education, the problem of technical knowledge to farmers, the problem of extension, all these things it leads to the misuse of this factor, because the farmers cannot every time interpret it rightly. There could be misinterpretations and there could be misuse of waters. So these are the some of the demerits. So I hope you understand what this criteria is, what are its merits and what are its demerits, and you would be now able to write a very good answer. So, and add a conclusion here, that is on you. Add a positive conclusion how using these techniques to increase water use efficiency can be helpful to our agriculture economy. That could be a good conclusion. So that is all for today. I hope you understand everything. So if you like it, please press the like button. Please do share, and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on a regular basis, and if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.